As you notice, I haven't changed my calendar, so I think it's time. I'm not really sure what the date is, though. But it's a little thing I picked up from the thrift store. I just think it's so cute. It's so cute. But I think I have to check the date today. I'm not really sure what the date is. Oh my goodness, today's 17th. Oh my gosh. Next weekend. Next week is Christmas. I have so much to do. Today's the 17th, and Christmas is on the 24th, and I have planned to have a dinner. I'm going to have a friend, and I'm also going to have an East Indian student that's in the country studying to be a nurse, and his family is overseas, and so I'm going to include him. I'm going to make up a little plate and take it to his door. I would love to be able to see my family, but however, they are working. They're working over the holidays, and that's something that I used to do a lot. So I understand that, and it's difficult. It's really hard, especially when you have kids and you're not able to spend the Christmas holiday with them and wait up for Santa and stuff like that. It's hard. It's really hard. Anyhow, so what I've been doing is I've been making dream catchers. This is the second one that I made, and I absolutely love it. I don't know if I can reach it without falling off the chair. Okay, let's see. Yeah. There. It's massive. It's a massive catcher. But I did change the webbing. The webbing was blue. I didn't like it. It was this color of blue. I didn't like it. So I changed it to black, and I actually really like it. I really like it. I've got two identical to this. And I might make a third identical to this because I've had a lot of people tell me that they like this color. So I'm quite possibly I'm going to make another one. But I mean, look at it. It's just stunning. It's just beautiful. I think it is anyway. Is that ego when you think that what you've made is beautiful? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it's ego. I think it's, truth as well. It did turn out really well. Really well. And then I made one for my daughter. And my daughter designed it. My daughter decided that's what she wanted. So this is the one I made her. It's got one of those little leaves on it. Now I'm going to get a couple more, and I'm going to put a couple of leaves around here. And I might put some beads, some brown beads, but I am going to make it a little bit more interesting. So if she wants, she can take this off, or she can add more, or she could put a couple here, So I am going to get a couple more of these, but I absolutely love it. It turned out beautiful. It's white inside, and outside it's kind of like a furry yarn. It's like a tan color and a white. So I think it turned out really nice. I think it turned out really nice. So those are the things that I have been up to. And now I have to get up to baking. I promised to make some cinnamon buns, and I promised to make some cookies and, things like that. So I'm having I don't know what's wrong with my hair today. Maybe we're going to get a storm or something, because usually when we get a storm, I can't get my hair to part the way it normally does. So I look like little Goldilocks, 64-year-old Goldilocks, yeah. So I had a little story to tell you. I was on the bus the other day. I had to go, and I was getting the turkey. And so I had to go pick out the turkey. And so I had to take the bus. So I take the bus, and the bus driver is ex-military, and I'm ex-military. So we were just, talking back and forth. And the conversation basically took the whole time that I was on the bus. And he insisted. He said, "Come stand up here. I want to talk to you about this." So I went and I stood up there. What was I going to say? No. Anyhow, there was a young girl. Sorry, I'm a little warm here. There was a young girl that got on the bus, and she couldn't have been more than, 16, 17, if that. No, she would have been 16 or 17. She was probably in high school. Anyway, she was ticked. She was just ticked. And when she got off at her stop, like, it would be different if he had gone right by her stop and it was because of me talking. And she said, no, this is it. And he was going to stop, at the stop. It wasn't like he was ignoring her. He knew what he was doing. He's been doing that for 30 years, he said. She got off the bus and she said, well, if that old lady wouldn't be standing there talking to you, you wouldn't have missed the stop. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I was just shocked. And I've seen this young girl at the bus stop. I've seen her many times on the bus. And, she never was rude to me. And then yesterday, it must have been something was in retrograde or else she was having a bad day. And I can understand that. But you don't outwardly take it out on other people. Now, I did say to the bus driver, I said, I'm going to go sit down now because I think your customers are getting a little pissed. And he said, yeah, whatever. And he said, we're just talking. And he just kept talking. But I had to. I said, I have to sit down because there's people giving me an odd look, right? So I went and I sat down. But when I got off the bus, the gentleman, he told me that he respected where I came from because I'm ex-military and I was a heavy equipment operator. And I went through at first I was a RADOP, and then I remustered prior to getting out into a heavy equipment operator because I was interested in that my whole life. Well, not my whole life. Maybe my later high school years. I thought that would be kind of neat to be a heavy equipment operator, especially since back then there wasn't a lot of women heavy equipment operators. So. And I had applied for a job as a bus driver when I first moved here, and I made it up to the last interview or something like that, and then I didn't make it, so whatever. I tried. Anyway, so he was very respectful of the fact that, I was a heavy equipment operator. We talked about some of the experiences I had, some of the equipment I drove, and all the while I was standing on the bus. And so, and even the fact that I respected his customers enough to say, okay, I have to sit down. He got off the bus and he shook my hand. I actually wasn't sure where I was going, and so there was another gentleman that was going in the same direction I was, and so he was very helpful. But the bus driver literally got off the bus and pointed out the direction that I needed to go, and he was very, very nice. And he shook my hand and he says, it was wonderful to meet you. You made the trip special. It was a good conversation. Thank you so much. I thank you. And he shook my hand, and I thought, oh my God, that's so nice. That's so the holiday spirit, right? And then I kept thinking about that young girl and what she said. And I didn't hear all of it, but I'm pretty sure I heard some expletives. And I was thinking, back in the day, if I would open my mouth like that, my mother would have cuffed me. She would have cuffed me. Back in the days, I never told my mother to off. Never. Ever. I wouldn't have, because she would have just upcut me, you know what I'm saying? Nobody, even my brothers didn't talk to my mother like that. And so at 64, and this young girl got off the bus, and she was loud. She was off the bus when she said it, and she was loud. I didn't hear all of it, but I heard enough to be insulted. And for her to make her point, which is what she wanted to do. But it was more attention-seeking, I think. Because when you want to tell somebody off, you don't have to shout it from the rooftops, okay? A word said privately or a word said quietly is going to have the same effect. What's different is, the effect is going to be different, that you're going to gain attention. Mm-hmm. And those are attention-seeking individuals. They are people who perhaps don't get the attention from the people in their life, whether it be parents or family or friends, okay? And so I personally believe that, yeah, she wanted someone to sympathize with her, that I was being a pain in the ass because I was standing in the way and talking to the bus driver. It wasn't at my request. It was at his request. However, it was a good conversation. It was a wonderful ride, and I got to where I was going. And, sorry, I have to turn the water off. I just noticed something. I got one eyebrow darker than the other. I think they're actually too dark. I think I'm going to have to get the brown because this is a charcoal. Yeah, I'm going to have to take that. I'm going to have to wipe that off and do it over again, but I'm not doing it for this video. However, so I got to where I was going. He got off. He shook my hand. It was very nice. It was very respectful. Just a wonderful conversation, a wonderful man. And he's a married man, and he was very respectful of his wife and talked nice about her. Very respectful of his wife. So that's an old-fashioned type of fella. Anyway, so I got off and I went to where I was going, and it has been, oh my gosh, it has been 20 plus years since I have gone to a midnight mass. Actually, it's probably been 40 years since I've gone to a midnight mass. And I haven't steered away from the church. I do believe in God, and I do believe in, spiritualism. I'm a little different than the normal mindset because I'm not very church orientated. I don't believe in kneeling to a statue, okay? When I talk to my God, I talk to my God. And me and God, we're in cahoots here. I don't believe in kneeling to a statue. Simple as that. But I used to love when I was a kid, and my mother would take us to midnight mass. And there was a girl, they were working on an organ in a back room, and it was beautiful. I wanted to go in and see what it was, and it was a chapel or like a church setting. They had chairs and everything. And she says, "Oh, do you belong to this agency or to this sector?" And I said, "No, I don't. But I've always wanted to go to a midnight mass." And she said, "Well, we're having a candlelight mass, and I've never been to a candlelight mass." And so I thought, oh my God, that'd be so nice. But I don't have a vehicle. And listen, Christmas time, there's no buses that run. No buses that run. And I'm not standing out there for 3 hours if there is. Anyhow, so the girl said to me, she said, "Well, we can take your name and we can take your phone number, and we can get someone to pick you up for the mass and to drop you off at home when it's done." I was like, oh my God, really? Really? That would be just so nice I'm not really sure if I'm going to be in the same location next year, my Christmas. And, I am 64, I'm going to be 65. Things are starting to get more expensive. It's not as easy as you all think for seniors, especially where I am in Canada, okay? Unless you have a really good pension plan. And apparently, I don't. So... True. I might have to get a job. Anyway, and I am disabled, remember that. So I may have to do something to, pad my financial abilities. So, that could be anything. That could be like getting a job at a local store as a greeter, or I can't do anything physically laboring because of my health. Because of my blood pressure, I have a hard time on certain days when it rains. The barometric pressure will affect me. I'm like a bloody thermometer. So, so I possibly may have to do something to pad my financial prowess, and certainly nothing illegal. So it's going to be something simple, right? Something very simple. I do crafts and things like that. Maybe I can, sell some crafts. So anyhow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my one morning coffee, and I have to go to the library to pick up the movies that I reserved. So I reserved I think 10 Christmas movies. So I'm going to go get them today. Hopefully they're in. And then I'll have something to watch during the week. I'm not really sure how long I get to keep them. I might have to return them before Christmas is even here. I don't know, because I have a week, right? But I did reserve some movies. I had some metabolism books that I was reading and writing down some of the recipes, how to reset your metabolism. And the first way is 12 hours. Don't eat for 12 hours. That's how you start the intermittent fasting, 12 hours, because you want to cleanse your body, right? So I was reading up about that, and I found it really interesting. The one book I'm going to take it out again because I want to photocopy some of the menus that they had, and it was just too much to write. And for some reason, I can't find my writing pad anywhere. I might have to buy another one, and then when I come home, I've got some sit-ups to do, and I've got some baking to do. I am going to be making cinnamon buns and homemade bread and cookies, ginger cookies. It's the only kind I make. I might make some chocolate chip, but ginger cookies. I'm also, what else am I going to do? Gluten-free crackers. I have to make a pile of them because I go through them like water. I make them, I eat them. I don't hoard them. I eat them. Yeah, a lot. A lot. I can eat a whole container of gluten-free crackers and not have that inflammation when I wake up in the morning. So that's a good thing. There's only one thing that I did that I'm kind of sorry I did, and I don't buy cheese that is already shredded. I buy the block cheese and I shred it myself because of the preservatives that they put in so that the cheese doesn't clump when it's already shredded. So what I do, I shred it myself. However, I made the crackers. And then I wanted some, and I thought, cheese would be so good with that. All the cheese is shredded, so I'd have to sprinkle the cheese on. So I think this time I might buy a brick of cheese and I might slice it up and just leave it sliced instead of, shredding it. But yeah. Anyhow, so those are some of the things I'm doing. I did find another way to treat my teeth. Two ways. There is a thing called laser therapy where you actually do laser on your gums, and in your gums you have stem cells, okay? We have stem cells throughout our body, but in your gums you have specific stem cells. And so to regenerate them, to regrow those gums, there are certain things that you can do, and it's called laser therapy. However, it's like $3,000. I don't have that. So I have to figure out some way to stimulate my gums. And at one point I was doing gum massages because they say that works, but it has to be a deeper massage, right? So I have to see about you can get those lasers that you can buy. I'm going to see if I can get one that I can stimulate those gums even the tiniest little bit, okay? Because I'm telling you, those bottom teeth, they are vying to come out, and that scares the hell out of me. So, you know what I'm saying? And then there's another thing, it's called collagen. Our teeth have got a lot of collagen in them. I didn't know that. I thought it was calcium. No, your teeth don't have a lot of calcium. They have collagen. So what I'm going to do, and I got that from a dental site. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to try to get some collagen. Well, I had some collagen peptides, and it's supposed to be bovine collagen, okay? So there's two, but the bovine one is the one that you would use for your teeth to stimulate the stem cells. Now, I wish they would come up with something, because they're using stem cells to regrow things, so why not put it into our dental care? But they're not. So I have taken to drinking, you take 1 scoop of the bovine collagen in 1 cup of water every day. Now, the first day I had 2 scoops. I was overdoing it. Anyway, I'm running out of it, so I have to purchase some more. So I have to figure out where to get it. I think I seen it actually at Loblaws, at the Shoppers at Loblaws, but I think it's pretty expensive. So I'm going to see if I can get some tablets. And there's one other thing I wanted to say is that I've been taking vitamin, D3 and K2, D3/K2, and they come in a little capsule. And that little capsule, listen, it sticks like crazy to anything you put it in. So I had one of the capsules. What I do is I usually open them up and squirt it in my mouth, but then you're losing a lot of the oil, right? So I'm going to try to get the drops. But I did an experiment with the capsules. It's a closed-in capsule, okay? Encapsulate, something like that. And so what I did is I cut the top off, and I pour it onto my teeth, and I let my teeth my gums absorb it. And it seems to take down the inflammation, takes the redness away and stuff like that. And then I took the capsule, because it feels like rubbery, right? And it's very, very thick. So I took the capsule, and I put the capsule in a glass, so I could see what was taking place, and I left it there. And anytime I got a capsule, I would put it in there. Well, somehow water got in there, okay? So maybe the cat or something. But something, moisture got in that glass. And so the capsulate, the omega-3 capsulates that were there, and the K2 D3 capsulates that were there, they're like a little brown capsulate. They literally melded into each other, literally. And they were like stuck. There was little flakes of it. So I think the cat might have been playing with them, but there was little capsulets that had stuck to the sink. They were literally like glue stuck to the side of the sink. So he must have been like flicking it around with his paws. So I am not taking anything with any type of encapsulate on it. I will not take the omega-3s with the capsulate. I'm going to try to get the oil itself. I am taking cod liver oil the same way that I did when I was a kid, and I had perfect teeth, perfect health, never got sick. So, the old days, sometimes things were good and people just didn't pay any heed to it. But I truly believe that because I never got sick when I was a kid. Never. I had the most amazing, strong, freaking white teeth, and now I'm having problems. It's that damn filling. It's that amalgamate filling, I'm telling you. Anyway, so I'm not going to take any more capsules. I don't take the omega-3, the K2 with the /D3. I take the oil. So the next time I get some moolah, some money, I'm going to see about buying the bottle of omega-3 oil. I'm going to also see about getting some cod liver oil like we used to take. And nuns used to give us a tablespoon every morning, and I mean a tablespoon, and it was horrendous. It was horrible, but now I see the benefit of it. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to see about getting the drops for the D3 and the K2. I'm going to try that, but I won't take the capsules anymore. And I did an experiment with the capsules, and what I did is I put them in something acidic, so a vinegar, to mimic our stomach acids. And I showed on a couple of previous videos how they actually broke down, and they didn't. They turned into a jelly. Now think about this. You take one capsule, a year, maybe, you're not going to have a big problem. But if you are someone who takes a lot of chemicals, a lot of drugs from the pharmacist, okay, and I don't care who you are, you take that. You're telling me that it's passing through your system and it's all coming out. I'm telling you straight, I looked at that. I had it in a glass jar, and I had a heck of a time getting the residue out of that jar. And I just threw it out. It's been a month, and it has not degraded a bit, not a bit. And I'd show it to you, but I threw it in the garbage because it was like most disgusting pile of crud I've ever seen. And it did not break down. It formed a jelly mold, and it stayed like that. And it's been a month. Pretty sure it's been a month, damn close to a month, and it has not broken down. And it was left in the heat. It was left in a glass jar so I could see it, and I didn't add any more vinegar to it. So, what I'm telling you is like some of the things we're putting into our body, like fluoride, okay, where I live, I thought they had fluoride in the water, so I've been doing the best to get rid of it, right? But I heard the other day that they're not allowing it in the water where I live. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. And in Europe, they don't allow fluoride in the water because of fluorisis. And I just recently came upon that thing called fluorisis, that you can have too much fluoride in your system because there's fluoride in everything, man. There's fluoride in our water. There's fluoride in, it even gets into our food sources. You know what I'm saying? So you're over fluoride, over fluorided. Anyway, so I stopped. I don't use toothpaste. I use baking soda. I use castor oil. I use omega-3 oil. I use cod liver oil. I massage my gums. I use a warm water rinse. I have made clove water mouthwash, and I use that, and that literally gets rid of everything. So, and I've been finding, like last night when I went to bed, I never get sick. And last night when I went to bed, I was having a lot of mucosa come up, and it would literally work its way up, and I'd have to get out of bed and, get rid of it and spit it out. And it was happening a lot. And finally it got to the point where I thought, I'm going to do something about this. So I got up and I boiled some cloves on the stove, and I inhaled it. I inhaled it for it wasn't even 20 minutes, inhaled it. And it stopped. The mucosa stopped. So there is something, I believe, there's something in the air. There's something taking place. And I'm very careful with that because I do live in an area where people are very, they travel internationally a lot. A lot of my neighbors are international individuals, and they travel back and forth from country to country. And so you never know what kind of illnesses they may be dealing with behind their closed doors, and you know that it gets into the environment. So be aware of that. So, I did do the clove, and as soon as I did the clove, it was about 10 minutes after I completed that 20-minute inhalation with the clove water on the stove. The vapor, it stopped, and I was able to get to bed. But there was a period of time where I was having a heck of a time to sleep because it was constant. It would work its way up. I wouldn't force it. It just worked its way up. And so my cat is needing his blanket. It's a comfort thing for him. Yeah. He literally sucks on the blanket and needs it like he would his mother. Just the weirdest thing. Anyway, so what else was I going to tell you about that? So the clove water, I inhaled it, and it got rid of that mucosa. It literally stopped. So one other thing I'm finding is I don't wear a lot of makeup. I have some lipstick on. I have some eyeliner, and I do my eyebrows. Obviously too dark. Hey. It just makes me look 20. Anyway, so I do wear makeup, but a very minimal amount. And I have some CoverGirl, but I don't wear it. I mean, this is my skin, that's it. I can't do anything about it, But I'm finding that the wrinkles are a little bit better because I got some face oil. I got some face oil, and it's literally helping to get rid of some of those fine lines. But anyway, I'm finding that there's a spot on my eye right here where I have a lump. It's like a lump under the skin, and I've had it on this eye for a long time, but I've started to get it on this eye. So it's like two lumps. It kind of makes me wonder, my body is detoxing. Is this something that is literally working its way out of my system? Because the reason I'm saying that is because I've had that before. I've had it before, and it worked itself into a bump, and I was finding that it was kind of tender there for a while, and then it went away and it subsided, and it hadn't been back for a year. And just recently it started to get worse, where on both sides you see I've got a little bit of redness there, but it's starting to it gets itchy. So it could be just dryness. However, they are building in my backyard, off my patio. They're building in my backyard a massive structure, and there are cranes, and there are graders, and there are loaders, and there's so much. So there's constant exhaust, and that's diesel exhaust, right? And I do have what's it called? I can't handle cigarette smoke anymore. I can't handle fumes from a car. Those type of things, they affect me really vehemently now since I quit smoking 8 years ago, by the way. So they do affect me, and they affect my skin, and they affect my breathing, and they affect my eyesight. So I'm finding that at nighttime my eyes burn like fire. So I've been trying to keep the window open a little bit to get some fresh air. But think about it, right? Right outside my window, they're going to put a damn parking lot. Now think about this. In the wintertime, they don't care. It's all about money. Yeah. So there's going to be, and I agree with building a hospital, but they built a hospital over here, and then over here, right in front of my patio window, is a parking lot. Right. So when the workers go into work, or the people coming to visit, and they come out, and it's wintertime, what do? They run their cars to warm them. And who gets all that exhaust? We do. So, this climate change thing, and they say, oh, we're going to fix it, and we're going to, the carbon emissions are going to go down. Bull crap, bull crap. I look out there constantly, even now, and I see diesel equipment that is just blowing black smoke. I see trucks blowing black smoke, okay? Those are diesel equipment, okay? I see cars that pull out there and they let their engine run. There's a security guard that drives around there all night long. He sits in his car, he reads books in his car, and the car, it's winter. He has to stay warm, so he runs the car. Who's getting that exhaust? So if I have my window open at night to get fresh air, I'm going to get his exhaust. When there's workers that are, getting off a midnight shift and they're exhausted, they're going to warm their car. Who's going to get that exhaust? I will. So I feel like I'm sequestered. I feel like I'm in prison. I can't open my windows. When I do, it's the noise. The noise is horrendous. The noise is horrendous. Them and my upstairs neighbors. Anyway, and so you hear the noise. You smell the asphalt. You smell asphalt. You smell the diesel, right? So I need to win that damn lottery is what I need. So I'm hoping the big guy's going to send a little bit my way so I can look at this. I do have one more year. And I'm not really sure if I will be where I am right now next year. I will be 65. And so things change. When you turn 65, a lot of things change. Not only your health, but your access to health care, your access to dental care. Access to a bus pass. So, that's all added expenses that I'm going to have to adhere to, that I'm going to have to save for. And then my money goes down. Yeah, my money goes way down. And it goes way down, but I still have more expenses. So I'm going to have to pay transport. I'm going to have to pay a bus pass. I'm going to have to pay my dental. I'm going to have to pay. They say we got free dental, but it's a third-party pay. And so they make it so hard that you can't even get in there. So, and the dentists are all saying, we don't want no part of that. A third-party payment, you have to wait 8 months to get paid for something you did yesterday. I don't blame them. I would tell them to stick it. I would tell the government to stick it. I really truthfully would. So, there's all these added payments that I'm going to have, and I don't think I can afford it. And I know, everybody's struggling at this point in time, so I can't count on a supportive network around me financially. I have to figure this out for myself, so I'm going to enjoy it while I can. So this Christmas I actually got a turkey and a chicken. A turkey and a ham, sorry, no chicken. A turkey and a ham. I got a small turkey, and I actually paid $18.75 for a turkey about this big. It's big enough. And I've got a ham about the same size for $17.75. And what I did is I said to the butcher, the young fellow that was working, I said, listen, I can't afford these. They're all $40, $50. It's been 20 years since I had a turkey. I haven't had a turkey for so long. I don't think I remember how to make stuffing. Anyway, so I said to him, I would love a turkey. Do you have anything back there that's under $20? And he went, and he had this big vat, and he said, yeah, I do. And he pulled out a turkey, and he gave it to me. And he said, there you go. He said, I hope you have a happy Christmas. Yeah. And I was like, I could have kissed him, because I haven't had turkey for so long. And the ham is like that big. So I'm not going to cook up the ham. I'm going to cook the turkey. I am going to feed 2 young East Indian nurses and a very close friend of mine who, by the way, bought me a coat for Christmas because my coat was stolen. So this individual went out and they ordered me a coat and they brought it down and insisted that I'm warm this winter. So the last coat that my daughter had loaned me to use when mine was stolen, it had a tear on the inside, and so a lot of the cold air was getting in. So so this individual thought of me and wanted me to be warm, and so they bought me a coat, and I love it. It's a bright red coat, and it fits me amazing. And I don't think I can get 2 or 3 sweaters in, but I don't need to because it's parka. It's down-filled, yeah. But to the person who stole my coat, I wouldn't want your karma. That's a horrible thing when you know that someone is low income and you know that someone's going to be cold this winter and you take their coat because you want it, it's nicer than yours, and then you give them your coat. Well, your coat is at the Sally Ann. I gave your coat away because it's not the same as the coat that I bought. And I was horrified to find out that someone that I trusted would steal from me. So I've got a new coat. So that individual is going to be here for a Christmas meal, and that's the way it's going to be, because I don't believe in when someone treats you good, mistreating them or just ignoring them on the holiday, right? And I do have a couple of friends in the building who have been there for me, who have given me gifts out of the goodness of their heart. And I mean, I got a set of pots and pans. I had to disconnect the internet. I was given a DVD player to use. So these are things where the individual thought about me. They thought about what I needed. They didn't just go, flip a switch and go to the store and pull out something that was like, a knick-knack, or they thought about what it is that I needed, and those things I needed. So a set of pots and pans. My pots and pans are all wrecked. They were those Teflon ones, and these ones are stainless steel, which will adhere to the fluoride in the water. And then and the calcium and all that crap, it will adhere to the pots, and then I can wash the pots with vinegar, and they are like brand new. So the white scum scale that's on the pots comes off of vinegar. So those pots are going to last a very, very, very long time. So I just got to keep buying some vinegar, that's all. So anyway, there's a lot of people that we have supers in our building who, one young lad came and fixed my lock. Another fella fixed my light fixtures. I had someone fix stuff in my kitchen. So they take the time to do the things that need to be done, right? So I have to acknowledge that. Now, I'm not rich. So it would be nice to be able to go get everybody a TIM card, but I can't. I can only pick a few of those individuals to get a TIM card. So I was thinking, well, there's not much else I can do. I mean, I can bake. I'm a pretty good baker. Ask my kids, I'm a good baker. And so I might make like a big plate of cinnamon buns and take it to the office. But there are a few individuals that deserve that I put away $10 to get a Timmy card. So that's 2 Timmy cards. And they will go to the people who've actually done things that I needed done, and done it very quickly. Okay, and I can't afford it. I mean, nice to be able to give them a $100 gift card, and if I won the lottery, I would. I really, truthfully I would, because they put a lot of effort into their work. They work hard, and they work a lot. And they have to take care of like 20 buildings, like I'm telling you. And like, at midnight when someone calls them and says, listen, my sink plugged up, I need you to come, or my toilet's plugged up, they have to get out of their warm beds in the wintertime, and they have to go. And there was a young lad that we had freezing rain one night, and he worked till like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I felt so sorry for him, a young man with a family, and working hard, and he salted all the apartment and buildings that belong here, and there is quite a few. So, I felt really sorry for him, but he's a hard worker. When I first met him, I wasn't really sure about him, but he has proven himself to me. So, and I have some friends in the building. I have a very good friend who lives in one of the buildings in my area, and I have to acknowledge them on Christmas. And there's a lot of times that I'm isolated, right? So if I had a heart attack, I could be laying here dead and nobody would know. You know what I mean? So it's nice to have someone who calls you and says, are you okay? How's it going today, right? I mean, your kids call you, but even that can be sporadic when they're working a lot, or they have issues or whatever taking place. So that can be sporadic. But this individual, without a fail, this individual will contact me, whether it be by text or by phone, and they will say, hey, just check it up, seeing if you're still alive, right? So that's a good thing. And I have to try to learn to reciprocate that. People in my life who are going through health issues, I have to reciprocate that. I have to get on that phone. But it's hard with my phone because mine's a pay-as-you-go, and so I don't get a lot of call time. So, anyway. But I do try. I do go to the library. I'll send them an email or something and say, look, I haven't been able to contact you, but are you okay? How's it all going, right? So I make a point of some type of connection. And I'm suggesting that all of you do. Because I have been there. I have, spent Christmas crying. I really have. There was a period of time maybe about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, that there was a family member that was I was unable to see. So there was a lot of time where there was a lot of times that were spent crying. And don't ever think that a connection to your children, okay, is lost. Because there were times when I would just constantly be thinking about this individual and knowing that they needed me or that they were thinking of me. I knew it. There is that connection there between mother, father, child, right? There's that connection. And don't think it goes away. It stays. It stays. And you know, the good Lord, the divine, whoever your whoever your divine may be, they see all. And anything that you have done to hurt someone, especially during the time of giving, anything that you have done to hurt someone, don't think it doesn't come back to kick you in the ass. It does. And it will. So just go on with your life, live your life, and be happy and treat people with respect. And just maybe people will look at you with respect and they will give you accolades for the good things you've done. So, anyway, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to warm this coffee because I have to go over to get some movies that I ordered. So I wish you a happy holiday, and you will see me again before the big day. I will show you the spread that I'm putting on for my friends and family for Christmas, and I'm excited about it. I haven't cooked a turkey in a long time. Let's hope I don't burn it. Oh, wouldn't that be awful? So I shall see you in the next video. The good Lord be willing. Bye-bye.